This is Inside Yale Football, brought to you by Yale All Access. Week 1 of Inside Yale Football for the 2012 season, joined by the head coach of the Bulldogs, Tony Reno. Coach, you're hired in mid-January. The team reports to camp in mid-August. Game 1, September 15th. Just how you drew it up, right?
No, it was a great, it seemed like it was forever to start the season. And we had so many things going on, so many balls in the air. From recruiting to hiring a staff to getting our plan together for our team, changing the culture to preseason camp, and now finally the first game. And I can't say I'm any prouder of the guys. They did a great job, and they're really starting to show signs of the team that we're trying to put together.
I think on that 24-24 win against Georgetown, at Georgetown, I think two words that maybe come to mind above the rest for me would be the enthusiasm and resiliency that Yale played with. Is that your assessment as well?
Yeah, I think so. Those are the two reasons. With 11 penalties for 106 yards and 5 turnovers, you usually don't think you have a chance to win a game, never mind win a game. But the guys played so hard, and they were resilient all the way at the end. So each one of those negative experiences, they kept playing, and that's what we're trying to be, is a team that plays whistle to whistle, plays as hard as you can through the whistle, and can deal with any adversity that hits.
A lot of new faces making an immediate impact, certainly on the offensive side of the ball at quarterback, but really everywhere. You must have been impressed with what the younger guys brought to the table on Saturday.
I was. We're recruiting, we say to the guys that the best players play, and our expectations are that guys come in and compete for jobs. And some freshmen came in and competed for jobs and won opportunities to compete on Saturday. And I was impressed with, nothing was perfect, and there's a lot of work to do, but they had composure. Each one of them was composed and played at a varsity level and made plays at a varsity level.
First time we're talking with you in this forum as the head coach of the Bulldogs. You were here for a long time as an assistant coach and then an assistant coach at Harvard. Mm-hmm. And you've been around the league long enough that, on any Saturday, the parity is just, it's right there. I mean, most games are going to come down to the last 5 minutes. It seems like you kind of build the team to be ready for that.
You have to in this league. The recruiting makes this league so even with the way the selection goes and the amount of players you can take. So you have to have a team that can deal with those situations. So very rarely you win a game on any weekend in this league that you have a sizable advantage in the fourth quarter. So you'd have a team that can play hard, play fast, play aggressive, but then also can deal with the ups and downs, the ebb and flow of a football game. And that's what we want our brand to be here at Yale, and that's what we're looking at.
Take the Yale football fans, a quick overview through the staff you hired and assembled to put in place here.
Sure. On the defensive side of the ball, brought Rick Flanders back as defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator in 2007, 2008 when Yale led the country in total defense. Also on the defensive side, Dwayne Wilmot as our defensive line coach. He was with me last year at Harvard. He was a defensive line coach there, and he was defensive line coach at the University of Maine. He's also a recruiting coordinator. So very energetic, great teacher, great motivator. Does a great job with our defensive front. Drew Petzing is our outside linebackers coach. Drew was at Boston College as assistant coach last year. Brings a really great perspective to our staff as far as motivation and also in recruiting. Steve Vashel is our secondary coach. Steve was at University of Maine last year, and he came down. And again, another guy who's a great teacher and motivator on the defensive side. On the offensive side of the ball, got Kevin Morris, our offensive coordinator. Kevin was most recently the head coach at UMass. Shares the same vision I do for offense as does Rick on defense. So really a seamless process for me with those two guys talking the same language every day and really projecting what I want our offense and defense to look like every day. Joe Conlon came down with me from Harvard. He was the offensive line coach there. He's the offensive line coach at the University of New Hampshire. He's our associate head coach as well. Larry Ciotti was able to come back. He's our running backs coach and assistant head coach. Larry's a legend around here and in Connecticut. Does a phenomenal job developing backs. He said the last 4 guys who've broken Yale's rushing record have been under his tutelage, so it's great having him back. And Kevin Cahill's our special teams coordinator and wide receivers coach. He was at University of Maine last year. And Chris Barber was an alum here, 1997, played for Coach Koza. Was with me last year at Harvard, and he's our wide receivers coach there. He's our tight ends coach here.
The 98-yard touchdown pass from Eric Williams to Cameron Sandquist. Take me through that play from your perspective as you're watching it happen.
Sure. Philosophically, we're an attack-style team on all 3 phases. So, we're going to take some shots when we think they're there. We felt like that was a good opportunity, and we were able to try and take a shot down the field. And it was one of those plays where Eric left the ball a little inside, a little further inside than we wanted, and Cam kept playing on the play. He didn't give up on the play, and that's the reason he ended up staying with it, made the play, and then had a great result at the end of it.
A lot of impressive defensive stands too. I mean, Georgetown had 21 points, but only 7 of them were actually scored by their offense. That had to be a kind of a point of emphasis, I think.
It was, on both sides of the ball, they were good and bad in the first game. The good part defensively is the kids were resilient. They finished plays, they played hard through whistles, and they made stands when you had to. We had 2 fourth down stands, 4th and 1 actually in both of them. We were able to create the first down situation for our offense, and we gave up 260 yards rushing. So you would never thought that those 2 things would equate, but it just shows you the kids kept playing, and we improved as the game went on. And that's what we're looking at, is trying to improve every day.
And Carm Koza, who's my broadcast partner on the radio and Hall of Fame coach, I mean, he says it every year because it's true. The biggest improvement a team will make is from week 1 to week 2 in a season. So
yeah, it's so true. I mean, I think Coach Koza knows better than anybody, but it's so true. I mean, we've identified some things that we need to really focus in on. We're going to do that this week, and then Cornell's an exceptional team. They got the best player in the league, so it's going to be a huge test for us to go up there.
Well, Coach, we look forward to doing this kind of weekly, every Monday night throughout the season. But for this first one, any last message you want to say to the Yale football fans out there watching?
No, we're putting together a team that's hopefully exciting to watch, in a sense where we play the right way. Play hard with our pads, not our mouths. Play physical, tough football. A team that's going to play whistle to whistle. So hopefully, when you come to the bowl, you'll see a team that you're really proud of.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach. And on and off the field, it's been certainly the 2012 Bulldogs have been a team to be proud of so far.